Hello everyone, welcome back to Relax History AI. What if the legendary gunslingers, lawmen, and outlaws of the Wild West could step out of history and stand face to face with their Hollywood portrayals? In this video, I bring 20 real figures of the Old West back to life, shown side by side with the actors who portrayed them in the classic film Tombstone, 1993, from Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday to the cowboys who defined an era of law and chaos. These portraits reveal the true faces behind the myths. Carefully enhanced, colorized, and animated, they meet their cinematic counterparts, where history and legend collide on one screen. Each image is a vivid reminder that behind the gunfights and legends were real men and women whose lives shaped the story of the American frontier. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. Wyatt Earp, 1848–1929, was a legendary figure of the American Wild West, best known for his role as a lawman and as the central figure in the gunfight at the OK Corral in the year 1881 in Tombstone, Arizona. His real life was a winding path through a variety of occupations: stagecoach driver, buffalo hunter, gambler, and lawman, blending fame with controversy. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Earp is portrayed by Kurt Russell as a symbol of integrity and honor, a tragic Western hero. The movie focuses on his feud with the outlaw group the Cowboys and his deep friendship with Doc Holliday, though it simplifies and dramatizes the events compared to the far more complex historical reality. Despite these liberties, Russell's strong and commanding performance helped solidify the image of Wyatt Earp in popular culture. Doc Holliday, 1851–1887, was a professionally trained dentist, but tuberculosis drove him westward into the lawless frontier, where he became a notorious gambler and gunfighter. He is most famous for his deep friendship and unwavering loyalty to Wyatt Earp, standing by his side during the fateful gunfight at the OK Corral. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Val Kilmer portrayed Holliday and crafted one of the most iconic performances in Western cinema. His character is depicted as cool, sardonic, intelligent, yet fiercely loyal and intense. Somewhat idealized compared to the complex man behind the legend. Nevertheless, Kilmer's haunting and mesmerizing performance is widely praised for capturing the essence of this mythic figure, becoming the soul of the film. Virgil Earp, 1843–1905, was the eldest of the Earp brothers. He served as the town marshal of Tombstone and was the primary commanding figure during the gunfight at the OK Corral. A seasoned and authoritative man, he was seriously wounded in an ambush shortly after the shootout, which left one arm permanently disabled and forced him to step away from his law enforcement career. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Sam Elliott portrayed Virgil with quiet strength and deep responsibility, embodying the role of a calm, respected elder brother. The movie faithfully depicts his leadership during the gunfight and the ambush that left him injured, though some historical details are simplified. Elliott's powerful performance and iconic voice gave the character a gravitas and trustworthiness that closely reflect the real Virgil Earp of history. Morgan Earp, 1851–1882, was the younger brother of Wyatt and Virgil. He served as a deputy marshal in Tombstone and took part in the gunfight at the OK Corral. His life came to a tragic end in March of 1882, when he was assassinated while playing billiards. The murder was believed to be an act of revenge for the earlier gunfight, and his death became the catalyst for Wyatt Earp's infamous vendetta ride. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Bill Paxton portrayed Morgan Earp. The movie captures his youthful spirit, fiery enthusiasm, and occasional impulsiveness with accuracy, while also portraying his tragic death with emotional weight. Paxton delivered a heartfelt and sincere performance, highlighting the close bond between the Earp brothers and the sorrow that shadowed their lives. Josephine Sarah Marcus Earp, 1861–1944, was a young stage actress who arrived in Tombstone and became romantically involved with Mayor Johnny Behan. Later, she began a lifelong relationship with Wyatt Earp that lasted 46 years. She was a key witness to the events in Tombstone and eventually traveled across the West with Wyatt before they settled down. In her later years, she became the guardian of his legacy, helping shape his public image through her memoirs. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Dana Delaney portrays Josephine as a beautiful, independent woman and a destined love who brings Wyatt peace and emotional grounding. However, the movie greatly simplifies the complexities of her real-life story, particularly her involvement with Behan and her pivotal role in shaping the legend of Wyatt Earp in the years that followed. Mattie Blaylock, 1850–1888, was a tragic figure in Wyatt Earp's life. She was his companion and common-law wife for nearly a decade, traveling with him to Tombstone. Mattie struggled with severe addictions to alcohol and laudanum. After Wyatt left her for Josephine Marcus, she fell into despair and is believed to have taken her own life with an overdose of opium. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Dana Wheeler Nicholson portrays Mattie as a sorrowful, dependent, and emotionally fragile woman. The film's depiction closely reflects historical accounts of her decline and tragic end, creating a stark contrast with the strong and spirited character of Josephine Marcus. Curly Bill Brocius, circa 1845–1882, was a notorious gunslinger and the leader of the Cowboys gang in Cochise County, Arizona. He was accused of numerous crimes, ranging from cattle rustling to murder, and was most infamous for shooting and killing Marshal Fred White. His death at the hands of Wyatt Earp during the gunfight at Iron Springs remains controversial. While some accounts support the claim, others cast doubt on what truly happened. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Powers Booth portrays Curly Bill as the main antagonist, a direct and menacing rival to Wyatt Earp. The character is depicted as far more brutal, arrogant, and hot-headed than historical records suggest. Still, Booth's intense and commanding performance elevated Curly Bill into a formidable villain, heightening the drama and conflict of the film, even if it somewhat exaggerates his actual historical significance. Johnny Ringo, 1850–1882, was a gunslinger and a high-ranking member of the Cowboys, known for his hot temper, intelligence, and lightning-fast draw. His body was found in a wooded area with a gunshot wound to the head, officially ruled a suicide, though many theories suggest Wyatt Earp or Doc Holliday may have been responsible. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Michael Biehn portrays Ringo as one of the main antagonists, a dark, dangerous, and intellectually matched rival to Doc Holliday. The cinematic version of Ringo is far more ominous and confrontational than his real-life counterpart, embodying a brooding menace that adds a chilling layer to the story. Biehn's gripping performance turned Johnny Ringo into a haunting figure, one of the film's most memorable villains, and a powerful foil to Holliday's deadly charm. Ike Clanton, 1847–1887, was a cattle rancher and a leader within the Cowboys, serving as one of the main antagonists to the Earp brothers. Historically, he was known as loudmouthed but cowardly. He survived the gunfight at the OK Corral and later brought false murder charges against Wyatt Earp and Doc Holliday. Ike was ultimately killed in a shootout in 1887. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Stephen Lang portrays Ike Clanton as a seething, bitter, and bumbling villain, his cowardice and quick temper dramatically heightened for cinematic effect. Lang's performance captured the bluster and weakness of the character with precision, turning Ike into a hateful yet pitiful adversary for the Earps. His presence adds tension, conflict, and dark irony to the unfolding drama. Frank Stilwell, 1856–1882, was a stagecoach robber, hired gun, and infamous member of the Cowboys. He was believed by Wyatt Earp to be the primary suspect in the assassination of Morgan Earp, which triggered Wyatt's legendary vendetta ride. Stilwell was shot and killed by Wyatt and his posse at the Tucson train station in March of 1882, becoming one of the first casualties in the Earp vendetta ride. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Thomas Arana portrays Stilwell as a brutal henchman directly involved in the ambush that wounded Virgil and killed Morgan. Compared to historical accounts, the film gives Stilwell a more defined and villainous role, turning him into a clear embodiment of the evil the Earp brothers were destined to confront. Arana's performance delivered a believable and menacing antagonist, helping to propel the film's dramatic tension and moral stakes. Billy Clanton, 1862–1881, was the young member of the Clanton family and the Cowboys. Though only 19, he had already gained a reputation as a dangerous gunman. Billy's death in the gunfight at the OK Corral turned him into a tragic symbol of the violent conflict between the Clanton clan and the Earp brothers. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Thomas Hayden Church portrays Billy Clanton as a hot-headed, combative young man easily stirred by his older brother Ike and by Johnny Ringo. The film version presents him as more aggressive than historical accounts suggest, heightening the emotional stakes of the legendary shootout. Church's performance captured both the arrogance and tragic fate of the character, bringing a volatile, youthful energy to the screen that added depth and drama to the unfolding conflict. Sherman McMasters, circa 1853-1892, was once a lawman, horse thief, and member of the Cowboys before switching sides to become a loyal ally of Wyatt Earp. He played a key role as one of the core members of Earp's vendetta posse, pursuing those responsible for the murder of Morgan Earp. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Michael Rooker portrays McMasters as a former cowboy who joins the Earps out of loyalty and a sense of honor. The film emphasizes his unwavering commitment to the cause, though it simplifies and idealizes his real-life story. Rooker's grounded and charismatic performance brought weight to the character, making McMasters a quiet yet reliable right hand to Wyatt. Even with limited screen time, he leaves a strong impression. Turkey Creek. Jack Johnson, circa 1847-1887, was a buffalo hunter, gambler, and lawman who had worked with Wyatt Earp in Dodge City before making his way to Tombstone. He became a loyal member of Earp's vendetta posse, taking part in the pursuit of those responsible for the killing of Morgan Earp. Johnson died in a gunfight in New Mexico in 1887. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Buck Taylor plays Johnson as a quiet but courageous and fiercely loyal member of Wyatt's inner circle, standing by his side during the vendetta ride. The film simplifies his complex background, focusing instead on his role as a steadfast comrade. Though his screen time is brief, Taylor's performance leaves a strong impression of quiet strength and resolve. Texas Jack Vermillion, circa 1842-1911, was a gambler and former attorney from Virginia who joined Wyatt Earp's vendetta posse in the hunt for those who murdered Morgan Earp. He was known for his bravery and unwavering loyalty. Unlike many of his fellow riders who met tragic ends, Vermillion lived a relatively long life and died of natural causes. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Peter Shireko portrays Texas Jack as a quiet, steady, and trustworthy member of Wyatt's inner circle, often present during pivotal moments. The character is simplified compared to his real-life counterpart, focusing more on his loyal Western gunslinger image rather than his complex origins. Chirico's grounded and understated performance added authenticity to the legendary posse, giving weight to the bond among Wyatt's most trusted men. John Henry. Johnny Behan, 1844–1912, was an ambitious political figure who served as sheriff of Cochise County and became a bitter rival to Wyatt Earp. He is best known for his prior relationship with Josephine Marcus before she became involved with Earp, and for siding with the cowboys following the gunfight at the OK Corral, deepening the divide between himself and the Earps. In the film Tombstone, 1993, John Tenney portrays Behan as an opportunistic, scheming, and cowardly politician, someone constantly trying to align himself with whoever holds more power. The character is presented as a clear-cut villain, with the film simplifying his complex political motives to enhance narrative tension. Tenney's performance skillfully conveyed Behan's slipperiness and unlikable nature, making him a symbol of corruption and weakness within the law. Allie Earp, circa 1853–1947, was the devoted wife of Virgil Earp, standing by his side through the many trials in Tombstone, including caring for him after the ambush that left him permanently disabled. She outlived most of the key figures involved in the Tombstone saga and left behind valuable memoirs that offer a unique, personal perspective on those turbulent times from a woman within the Earp family. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Paula Malcolmson portrays Allie as a strong-willed, sharp, and loving wife, ever supportive of Virgil and his brothers. Compared to historical accounts, the film gives her a more defined personality, presenting her as a pillar of strength and emotional support within the family, faithfully reflecting her real-life loyalty and resilience. Though her screen time is limited, Malcolmson's performance leaves a lasting impression of a determined and steadfast frontier woman. Louisa Earp, 1855–1894, was the wife of Morgan Earp, a little-known figure in the greater tragedy of the Earp family. She witnessed her husband's death in 1882, an event that plunged her into despair and ultimately led to her passing in a mental institution more than a decade later. A quiet life marked by deep sorrow. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Lisa Collins portrays Louisa only briefly, as a grieving young wife, largely overshadowed by the film's main characters. The movie omits the tragic arc of her later life, reflecting how women in Western stories are often pushed to the background. Despite her limited screen time, Collins' performance evokes the silent anguish of those who stood behind the legends, bearing witness, yet left behind. Kate Elder, 1849–1940, commonly known as Big Nose Kate, was a prostitute and the tempestuous, longtime companion of Doc Holliday. She was known for her fiery temper and sharp intelligence. Though their relationship was marked by frequent separations and reconciliations, she remained, in her own way, loyal to Holliday. Kate outlived most of the key figures in the Tombstone saga and died in a nursing home, far removed from the violence of her youth. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Joanna Pacula portrays Kate as a jealous, hot-headed, and occasionally treacherous lover, often clashing with Holliday and the Earp brothers. Compared to historical accounts, the film exaggerates her cunning and negative influence, casting her more as a threat than the complex woman she truly was. Nonetheless, Pacula's performance captures the dangerous allure and volatile charm of the character, adding a layer of tension to the story. John Clum, 1851–1932, was the mayor of Tombstone and editor of the Tombstone Epitaph, a newspaper that staunchly supported the Earp brothers. A firm believer in law and order, Clum played a pivotal role in the political landscape of Tombstone. He later went on to have a notable career as a postal service manager and as an Indian agent working with Native American communities. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Terry O'Quinn portrays Clum as a courageous and morally upright civic leader who openly sides with Wyatt Earp and opposes the corrupt influence of the cowboys. Compared to historical reality, the character is simplified into a symbol of integrity, helping to establish the film's clear divide between good and evil. O'Quinn's dignified and commanding performance perfectly conveys the respectability and quiet strength of this honorable public servant. William "Billy" Breakenridge, 1846–1931, served as a deputy sheriff under Johnny Behan in Tombstone. Though he worked on the opposing side, Breakenridge had a complex relationship with the Earp brothers. He later authored the memoir Hell Dorado, which offered a significant, if controversial, perspective on the events of that turbulent time. In the film Tombstone, 1993, Jason Priestley plays Breakenridge as a young, inexperienced, and somewhat timid deputy, often seen tagging along with Behan's entourage in opposition to the Earps. The character is notably simplified compared to history, with his personality exaggerated to provide a sharp contrast to the steely resolve of the film's protagonists. Priestley's performance effectively presents Breakenridge as a minor, impressionable follower, rather than the historically nuanced observer he later became. Thank you for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't hesitate to share it with your friends and hit subscribe so you won't miss our next exciting content.